Hey guys, Movie Junkie for Life here, and this is going to be my review of Star Wars The Last Jedi. Directed by Rian Johnson and starring Daisy Ridley, John Boyega, Carrie Fisher, Mark Hamill, the list goes on, and by now you're familiar with most of the faces. The story here follows Rey as she journeys to seek out Luke Skywalker. Her powers are growing and she wants to understand who she is and where she's come from. And while she's dealing with that, the rebellion is... So The Last Jedi. Now, this is a movie that every Star Wars fan is looking forward to. We seem to be getting a Star Wars movie every year, which is awesome. That's always great, especially if they keep the quality going. I, for one, was really pleased with Rogue One. That's actually one of my favorites. I have that up there with my all-time favorite, Empire Strikes Back. And this story, they hyped it up that it was going to be something epic. The reviews have been really solid. I try not to read any reviews before I do my own so that I go in very unbiased. But you know, you couldn't help hearing how solid the reviews are all around. So I went in very excited for this film. So let's talk about what I liked and what I didn't like. Starting with the visuals. The visuals here are basically perfect. I really don't have much to complain about when it came to the visuals in this movie. I thought they did a fantastic job. There are scenes here that will go down in Star Wars history. Some truly epic moments that made your jaw drop. Whether it was an action sequence or the way a location was filmed, a battle sequence in space. The list goes on and on. The movie starts really strong with a pretty epic battle sequence and ends in a similar fashion. I won't go into that too much, but I was really happy with the visuals and the sound choices as well. And I mean, this is where Star Wars excels. You go into a Star Wars movie hoping to see something that either you've never seen it before or you've seen it and it's been enhanced beautifully. And Rian Johnson does a wonderful job here with taking what we know about Star Wars and just taking it up a notch in terms of, you know, the AT-ATs or AT-ATs, if you want to call it that, from the Millennium Falcon. All these different things have been enhanced in small ways that I quite enjoy. And the costumes, of course, are excellent. I really have no complaints. I also saw some new additions that I quite like. My absolute favorite being the Emperor's Red Guards. I don't know what their names are, exactly what they're called, but they're the red dudes, and the armor is very Eastern tradition in nature. I quite like that a lot. So visually, this movie, I really have no complaints when it comes to the visuals. I thought they did a fantastic job with most of that stuff. Acting wise, most everybody gave solid performances, I'll say that. The thing is that, and I'll get into this a little later on, is I don't think the actors here are really at fault for the issues that I have. I think it's more with the dialogue that some of them were given and the way those lines were delivered. It had me wincing a bit for certain scenes, but overall everybody here was fantastic. I mean, what we went into this to see was Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker, and he nailed that shit, right? He was exactly what you expect to see in a grizzled old Luke Skywalker, and I'm so glad that he did what he did. He didn't try to turn Luke into Obi-Wan. He's not that kind of character. He is a man, he's seen a lot of loss, he has a lot of fears, and he has a lot of anger, and that's all there. I think that Mark Hamill deserves to be awarded for this. He is undoubtedly, in my opinion, the best in this movie. I think he steals nearly every scene that he's in. He's fantastically fun to watch, and I enjoyed all his interactions, especially when he had to interact with Carrie Fisher. I mean, for anybody who grew up watching Star Wars, those were the scenes that made you smile, made you a little bit sad, you know, makes you rest in peace. These are the scenes that really touched you as a fan of these movies. And story-wise, here's what I'll say about this movie. Entertainment, like pain, is subjective. And for what you might think is absolutely perfect, I might have issues with. What I might think is a really fun time at the movies, you might think is utter nonsense. In this case, I think the story here is okay. I don't think it's as great as everybody's making it out to be. And my biggest issue is that they gave us possibilities and then took them back. That is my biggest problem with this movie. We had storylines that looked like they were going in epic directions. Without going into details, we had Rey and Kylo's story looking like it was heading down a road that, holy crap, if they only took it there, I think the next movie in line would have been amazing. We had Luke's journey and we had Leia's journey going in a direction that I think everybody thought it was going a particular way to kind of give Carrie Fisher the send-off that Princess Leia deserves, and we didn't get it. And there was a lot of that in this movie, a lot of stuff that felt anticlimactic. I felt let down. I felt like somebody was taking me to the edge, and just as I was about to go over, wah wah, that's what it felt like. I was just like, oh, okay, that's fine, but it wasn't epic, and I went into Star Wars for epic. My other issue is the waste of some of these characters. We had Captain Phasma. That's my girl. I was so excited when they introduced this character. I wanted more. I want to know her story. I didn't just want another Boba Fett. And I keep feeling like that's what they're doing with this character. They keep giving me another Boba Fett. And it's the anticlimactic thing all over again. And it just pissed me off. To be quite frank, this time around, it pissed me off. And I really, really hope that they're going somewhere with what they did to this character. I really hope they finally give me what I want from this character and not just a pretty looking action figure. And as I'm touching on action figures, the Porgs, I think that's what you call them, little fluffy things. I won't go into too much details for those who haven't seen it, because when I realized what it was, I was like, okay, because that's not what it looks like in the trailer, but okay. They are trying to create the Groot of Star Wars, and I am sorry, but those little things annoyed me. Annoyed me just as much as Ewoks did. And I kind of like Ewoks because they're giant teddy bears. Who wouldn't want a giant talking teddy bear that could, you know, kill things for you? But these things were just annoying, and you could tell it was not just the fact that they're trying to sell toys here. You're trying to create the magic that Guardians of the Galaxy managed to do with Groot. And in my opinion, it failed. I don't like those things. They serve no purpose. They were just cheesy and they felt completely out of place in what was going on in the story. Please leave the Porgs out of the next one, or whatever the hell you call them. I didn't like them. Maybe other people will. Maybe people thought they were cute. I thought they were cute for 1 second. And then every scene after that, they just annoyed the hell out of me. So we got a lot of that. We got side plot lines that felt like filler. You know, you have a whole storyline going on with Finn, and I think the character's name is Daisy or Rose maybe. I'm sorry, I'm not remembering her name correctly. But they had a whole side storyline with those two characters. Not only did it not make sense, it initially seemed logical what they were doing and why they were doing it, but the end results, it was insane. It was a series of events that made no sense. Their choices made no sense, and it was just a kind of a stumble and luck thing with those two characters. Honestly, they should have been dead 5 times over for the things that they were going through, and yet here we are. We still have Finn, we still have this character. I have nothing against Finn. I think John Boyega is a very, very talented actor. Freaking love Attack the Block. But here he is completely wasted in this storyline. And that's what I feel about Star Wars The Last Jedi. It's a movie full of wasted moments, wasted possibilities. Is it entertaining? Yes, it is. Is it a good Star Wars movie? Yes, it is. It's entertaining. It's funny. There were moments that I laughed out loud. Mark Hamill had a lot to do with that. There was some epic emotional moments between Kylo Ren and Rey. Daisy Ridley and Adam Driver did wonderful in their parts. I wanted so much more of those two and their interactions and what they were going through, because that to me fit what they were telling us the story was going towards, and I just didn't get what I wanted. So I had a series of visually stunning moments, some good emotional beats here and there, some wonderful acting, but then it would just fall apart with cheesy lines, bad dialogue delivery, Deus Ex Machina here and there. It was too much. I think they tried to do too much in one movie. I think you could tell they had a bunch of different ideas and they just kind of threw most of them at the audience. And I'm giving Star Wars The Last Jedi a 6.5 out of 10. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for that, but I gotta be honest. For me, Rogue One was a much better film. Force Awakens was a much more entertaining film. And Empire Strikes Back is still the best goddamn Star Wars movie of all time. So Star Wars The Last Jedi is going to get a 6.5 out of 10 from moi. And that's gonna be it, guys. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up. That would be really cool. You can subscribe on this side over here by clicking on my face. And until next time, bye bye.